And how's it going? It's your boy JB. We are back with another episode of the Old Man Road to Glory. Tonight we're getting ready for FC25 and taking a deep dive into FCIQ. Let's get into it. Alright, so FCIQ then is the new, I suppose, tactic system, you could say. It's not too far off the original tactic system, if I'm being honest with you. It's been revamped for sure, and you can do certain things with it that you couldn't do with the old tactic system, but you know, there's still a few caveats in there about how it hasn't really changed, but we'll go through it in a wee bit of detail. I'm not going to go through the whole detail, but you know, we'll do a wee bit. So you'll see here I've got Foden's card. The newest addition is roles, right? So think of roles like playstyles. They offer certain playstyle, i.e. they offer certain runs, they offer certain ways that players kind of put themselves, etc, etc. You will see that depending on where they play, they'll have their own specific role set. There's three types of roles. There's a role, which they basically is a normal day-to-day. This is what they do in their normal gameplay. You'll see there's no pluses or anything, so the winger here is just a normal role, and he's very good at doing that one. He's also quite good as a wide playmaker, but also there is role pluses and then role plus plus. A role plus is he is very good at that specific thing. A role plus plus means he's world class in that specific thing. So dependent on the player that you get, they'll have that alongside their normal, as you can see here, their normal playstyle pluses or playstyles just on top. And this is where it's going to be super important to get the right player for the right position. But you're not always going to need to have role plus or role plus plus in every single position, because you want a level of balance within your team, and the idea is to build balance into your teams by having proficient players and world-class players. So that's kind of what FCIQ is all about. You'll see down here outside of that the AI model. This is effectively the new tactics screen. Just drag this down a wee bit further and see if we can see it. That was a wee bit too far for myself even. You'll see here now the way your players are set out. It has their role. So there's winger on this one for Sonny. Winger on this side, box to box for this one, for example, playmaker for this one. You'll see the plus and a plus plus defender for Van Dijk as well. So you'll see though that not every player has a specific role plus plus. They don't all need to have them, so don't be freaking out. You know, you don't want to be putting loads of that on because the balance of your team will just drop out. You do have your normal formation screen, and we can save changes on your formation. You can also set up specific tactical presets for your, you know, we used to have the, you know, change tactics using the D-pad. You can set up your own specific tactics within that as well on your D-pad, plus it'll give you smart tactics on top of that, which we'll talk about in a wee second. Effectively, if I go on down a little bit further, see if it can give me a little bit more information. Specifically on this, so you'll see that there's two essential screens for your tactics. There's the without the ball screen, so how your team will line up without the ball, and then there's the with the ball screen where it will show you how your players will line up with when they have the ball. Now this is obviously quite a bizarre and mad looking thing, but effectively you should technically, and I say technically because it didn't work the way I thought it was going to work, technically you should be able to say without the ball I want a 5-back, but without the ball I want a 3-4-3. Right, as you can see here, it doesn't actually work that way. It doesn't work as well as that. Although it was the beta, obviously we were trying, didn't work as well as that in the beta. I'm hoping it'll be much better because you couldn't actually build these types of things within FCIQ whenever I was testing it out. So I'll be hopeful that it'll work when we get the game out, but don't be thinking that you can change formation on the fly within the same formation with and without the ball. It doesn't work 100% like that, although I will say one thing, having inverted fullbacks is excellent if you're trying to create this, you know, this type of thing here. Having inverted fullbacks is going to be tremendous for that. You can see again here that depending on what they've been asked to do, so you know, deep line goes to playmaker, Bellingham goes. What's he in there? He's a shadow striker there. Same there, pretty much. But it's not as flexible as I thought it was going to be, but at the same time, you know, it'll take a bit of getting used to. The key's balance, right? So we're actually building teams now that have balance rather than building teams that fit a meta. There will obviously be players that will fit a meta, but balance is the key. So there's plenty of positions and position map there, of course. I'll put the link to this in the description of the video, of course. You'll see here though for players, so I've obviously chosen Son in this particular example. Excuse me. So these are his roles, so he'll have a number of roles that you can kind of scroll through. Excuse me, each of those roles, depending on what those roles are, will have a focus. So generally you'll have defend, balanced and attack, and depending on the role will depend which of these become available. It will obviously give you then a breakdown of what's good about it, what's bad about it, and of course your formation as well. It gives you some quick tips. Now I wouldn't always go with those. They're good to have, don't get me wrong, but generally when you're playing you probably won't notice most of it, to be truthful. So nothing really to go there. The key is about, you know, getting yourself a tactic that works for the style of play that you have. And if you can do that, then you'll become Zinedine Zidane apparently. But essentially, this is going to give you a level of realism, actual on the foot, on the grass pitch realism of tactics. Now, one of the other things that happens in this as well, as we see another kind of look at that screen with Vinny Jr., managers now come with their own presets. So if you apply a manager, so you put in a manager in, say put Arne Slot in for Liverpool, he comes with his own tactical preset that will automatically load into FCIQ if you let it, essentially. So it's definitely worthwhile having a look to see what they look like, and then kind of tweaking backwards. But again, it's about how you want to play. So once you've tweaked your preset, and once you've got your tactics set up, then you can go straight out and go. So I'd say probably the first thing I'm going to do is build a balanced preset, and then change and test as we go. We've got 30 squad battles games or something to play in the first weekend to get the squad battles rewards on the Sunday. So I'm going to be testing this out pretty much solid over those 2 days worth of games. So definitely worthwhile taking a look at. And of course, once you're finished, then somebody asks you for your tactics, you can export it as a code, and of course then that code can then be added back into that person's FC25, and they can play with your tactics as well if that is the case and you want to share them. So that's FCIQ in a nutshell. You'll see here, so focus complete as well, with the different ideas of what those focuses are. But yeah, not too bad at all. It's going to take some time to get used to, let's be honest. It wasn't as flexible as I'd hoped it would be, but then we're going to spend a lot of time playing with it over the next wee while. So roll on the 20th, see how we get on. And there we go, that is FCIQ in a nutshell. Obviously I'll spend more time in the videos coming up over the next wee while on the FC25 stuff, showing you exactly how it works. But I've been your boy JB. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new. I'll see you all again very, very soon.